My friend just called me in the middle of my video and it was about to get popping up in here. And now I got to start all the way over again. Fuck. Hey guys, you already know it's your girl Indigo back with another video. Yes, I'm making 2 videos in one day, and you want to know why? I'm just in the mood. I don't know, I'm just in the mood. I've had a lot on my mind, and I'm just like, let me just go ahead and give this energy out to you people. So this one's not no military related video. This is gonna be like that support video I made. It's self-love video 101 time. Yes. So today I had something heavy on my mind. I made a really dope post on my Facebook, on my Facebook and on my Snapchat and on my Instagram, which if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me, link is below. Snapchat, link is below. You can follow me on Facebook, link is below, but I really don't be on Facebook like that. It's not really my thing, but that's really for my family. But I wrote a post and it says something around the lines of public service announcement, everybody's toxic, nobody's perfect. It's the people in I can't remember how I wrote it. How did I write that? I wrote it really dope. I can't remember. But pretty much the point of it was everybody's toxic, but you bring out your toxic based off your surroundings and the people around you. Meaning your attitude, the things you do, a lot of that, it contributes to the surroundings and the people around you. And that's why you have to be sensitive with your space, and you have to be sensitive with the people you let in, if that makes sense. So I don't know, I was just thinking about how I know I'm not perfect. So I'm just driving my car and I'm just thinking about some of the toxic stuff I've done, like to family, to friends, in relationships. And I'm just like, wow, I sit here and I tell everybody, and I always am speaking all this love and self-love and da-da-da-da, but there was a time where I was not like this, okay? I evolved, okay? I opened my eyes to things. I will say it has a lot to do with the training I've gotten, my mother, going to church. A lot of different things have inspired and changed me into a better person, but I used to not be this person. About 4 or 5 months ago, I was somebody completely else. And that person, I don't know anymore. That person is not me. That person was somebody that was brought out of me by my surroundings and by other people. And I allowed that to happen because I didn't have control of my own emotions. And that's what I want to teach, or not teach, but that's what I want to say today. Learn how to control your emotions. Learn how to control your situations. Don't allow yourself to be put into a tornado of toxic poop, and then you end up popping out toxic like them. Toxic is toxic. Is there another word for it? Toxicity? I like that word. Toxins are contagious. There we go. Toxins are contagious. Meaning, if you're around toxic people, if your surroundings are toxic, it's going to try to get you because you are around it. It wants you to, because misery loves company. Duh. So, long story short, you have to understand you're not perfect. You're toxic. We all have it in us. And if you're not religious, I apologize. I am. I believe that we were born in sin, obviously. God died for our sins. Or not God, I'm sorry. Jesus died for our sins, obviously. And because of that, we live in sin, meaning we attract it, we lust for it, we have these sins that we can't help but drive ourselves into, and it's not something that we want all the time, but we can't control it. And the best thing, we can control it, that's what I mean. We can control it, but these are just normal things. So everybody's toxic, even in the smallest ways. If you've ever had a phone call and you just weren't in the mood to talk to somebody, so you didn't talk to that person, your mom, your dad, your kid, I don't know, something, you're toxic. You know what I mean? You don't know how that person took what you said. Or if you woke up and you just had an attitude and you just being mean to people for no reason, that's toxic. You don't know how that's affected other people. Or, there's just so many different reasons that you can end up doing something and not realize, dang, what I did is negatively affecting somebody else. That's what toxic is to me. Negatively affecting someone else. So I say all that to say, we can't control, we can't control how we're toxic, but we can't help being who we are. We're humans. Humans just do that crap. It's about if you acknowledge it, if you know who you are, and if you're able to think about it and think about what you're doing and saying before you do it, if that makes sense. So, anyways, another point I wanted to add into this whole "you're toxic, accept it" speech is the fact that you have the control to decide if you're going to be toxic all the time, if you're going to negate toxins out into the world and have everybody around you horrible just like you, or if you're going to not be that person. You know what I mean? Like, I see a lot of things, right? Like, people have been talking about R. Kelly, you know, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. Yes, they were toxic. But that doesn't mean that's all they were. Obviously, these people were talented. They also had different talents and different motivations, and they had different goals other than just being toxic but people. I don't, like, you know, obviously I'm not saying pro them, no, but I'm just saying we can't sit here and act like these people just were horrible people. Everything they did was just horrible, because a lot of them made beautiful music. A lot of them made beautiful TV shows. Yes, but you gotta understand, people are human, okay? And maybe they chose routes that were horrible. Freaking horrible. Let's talk about freaking horrible. But at the same time, we're not going to sit here and act like they weren't talented and they didn't have things about them that obviously shined through that toxin and made a positive effect on other people's lives. We're not going to sit here and act like these people didn't have positive effects on people's lives. Maybe they have more negatives than positives, but them positives were there. And that's what I want to talk about. Or that's what I'm trying to say in this video. Like, we all do toxic stuff. Maybe you post me. Like, I caught myself. On Facebook, I used to post a lot of just negative stuff. Just anti-love, anti-men, anti-this. Man, bump dudes. I used to post all types of stuff because I was in my feelings. That's why. I felt some type of way from something I went through. And then I was throwing that into the world. And I'm just like, girl, like, now I look back at it. I'm like, girl, you were toxic. Like, all you're doing is throwing out all this horrible, like, negative stuff. Like, why? Why are you telling everybody all these negative things? I went to church last Sunday, right? And the message in church was inspire people. Be productive with your time. Just like Jesus was productive, traveling the world. Well, not the world, but traveling throughout the country, telling people his message with his disciples. He was always giving positivity. He was always trying to teach us to be better. And that's how we all should be trying to live our lives, trying to give something back. Not give something back positive, though, not something negative. Nobody wants to hear that crap. Like, I look back at some of the stuff I used to post, just negative. And maybe I don't see myself as negative. Maybe I was having a good day, but that didn't stop me from posting negative. And all that energy is doing is proving the fact that you don't know how to control your negativity. You don't know how to let stuff go. Let it go. So, yeah, I just feel like, you know, think about some stuff you do. Maybe you post stuff online. Maybe sometimes you don't answer your phone a lot and you don't tell people why. Maybe you block people for stupid reasons. Maybe you're always being petty under someone's page, or you're one of those people who like to troll, or, you know, there's so many different ways people are toxic and they're like, I'm a good person though. Sis, if you're a good person, act like it. It's so easy. Bro, if you're a good person, act like it. Like, good people don't do this. Good people don't do that. And yes, you have to understand, some people in the world are going to bring that out of you. And that's when you have to decide and be in control enough to walk away. If you're with somebody who brings out something in you that is not you, sis, it's time to go. Dip. Because you don't want to be that person just because that person's bringing that out. Someone's bringing out your toxic side. It's crazy because I can see some of my relationships, friends, and like actual like love interests and stuff, and I would never do one thing to one person and then a whole another person I'd be a whole different way with. And I look back like, what was the difference? One of them wasn't toxic. One of them actually respected, while the other one was toxic. didn't respect. And it brought out two different indigos, the good one and the bad one. You feel me? And that's the energy that I realized that's just people though. Like in general, you have to choose the people you have in your space and your energy and your surroundings. You have to really choose. And sometimes you're in situations like jobs and stuff where you don't have control of that. And the best thing I can tell you in those situations is to remember who you are, why you're there, what you're there to do. And as long as you're doing that, don't let anything else bother you. There's no point. Look at the bigger perspective. Instead of looking at the whys, why are they doing this? Why they treat me like that? Just look at the who matters. Me, yourself. Yourself should matter. And what can I do right now to make myself feel better? What is making me feel this way? If you can sit back and not be impulsive, which I'm impulsive, Gemini. If you can sit back and before you react, before you let your passions, your anger, your toxic out, and really sit back and be like, what is the point? What is this person trying to get out of me? What is the reaction they're expecting? If you can sit back and like really stop yourself from being a negative bias, not having these negative mindsets and not letting people get the best of you, bring those toxins up and make people think, oh, she's toxic. Oh, he's toxic. Look at that. Look, she went toxic. If you can control that, you can control the fucking world, sis. You can control everything. A person in control of their own selves, their own emotions, is a person in control of success, goals. That is one of the best mentally cleansing and happiest feelings in the world, to be able to be like, I'm not bothered. I'm not. Like, I see what you're trying to do. I see what reaction is expected, but I'm not going to give you that because I'm in control. You know what I mean? Like, or when you get really bad news or you find out something horrible, when you can sit back and really like, okay, I'm going to talk to the person. I'm going to get their view. I'm going to get what I'm going to figure out what it is. And then I'm going to decide from there what I'm going to do. Rather than on impulse, oh, I'm mad, I'm going to do this and do that. Nah. Instead, they disrespected me. They hurt me. They betrayed me. They lied. They did whatever they did to you that hurt. Okay. They did that. And they did that because they were selfish and they were toxic. But I'm not toxic. So what do I want to do about that? What do I want to do about that? Like, what can I do? I can't stop what happened. I can't make that person not be that person, because a person's going to be who they want to be. Okay, you cannot change nobody. A person would change for themselves. I hate when people are like, oh, a man gonna change for... No, a person changes for themselves, okay? They change when they're either with somebody who makes them feel as though they need to change for themselves, or they change when they realize themselves they need to change, okay? And some people don't realize it, and some people don't want to realize. That's okay. That's you, sis, not me. That's you, bro, not me. But what can I do in this situation? And most of the time in those situations with toxic people, you can either do one of two things. Act a freaking fool, which I've done a lot, or leave. Get your peace. Walk away. Listen. Get the information you needed. Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. And dip. And let that toxic whatever be that toxic whatever. And sleep good at night. Sleep good at night. Like, don't lose sleep. Don't lose emotions on toxic things that you can't control. Because, like I said, misery loves company. Why give it company? Why give them what they want? Be you. Smile, sis. Walk around with your head high, because you know what? You're human. And people are going to do human stuff. Things are going to happen all the time. And all you as a human being can do is accept it and move the freak on. And I'm talking about this in work. I'm talking about this in family, friends, relationships. The best you can do in a toxic situation is don't let them make you toxic too. Why? It's never that serious. No one should be in control of you. Okay? No one should be in control of you. No one should be in control of you, so you should always be in control of your own emotions. If or if not what's happening, if it's not physically hurting you, why should you react to it? Really. I'm not telling you you can't react to certain things, but why react to something negative with something negative when you can instead walk away? If you see something toxic, walk away. That's common sense, right? Like, if you burn your hand on the stove, you ain't gonna touch the stove again. So if you're burning yourself with toxic, common sense would say walk away. But people tend to keep touching it and getting burnt. Just walk away. Walk away from toxic situations, guys. And don't be a toxic person. If you see that you do toxic things, change that crap. Nobody needs that in this goddamn world. Okay, sis? Okay. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was long. I was rambling. But yeah, love you guys, supporting you guys. And I'm glad you guys support me. Peace and hair grease.